I'm very happy today to introduce Michelle Shabazian. Congratulations for having your article, Five Keys to a Happy Lasting Marriage, published in Authority magazine. Michelle is a marriage and family coach with over 15 years' experience helping people navigate a variety of challenges. She's earned two master's degrees, one in psychology and another in building construction and facility management. Pretty interesting juxtaposition there of those two titles. She blends clinical expertise with practical real-world solutions. Her ongoing studies in neuroscience and behavioral biology keep her methods grounded in the latest research. Michelle, you had success in marketing, but eventually became passionate about helping yourself and others build a happy, loving marriage. You say, and I quote, "A truly fulfilling marriage is built on mutual respect, kindness, and the ability to navigate challenges without ever resorting to destructive behaviors." How do you help couples achieve that goal?
I sit with couples for usually several hours in the first session, and I find out what it is that's problematic for them as a unique system. And then once we get deep into the roots of what the actual problems are, we can figure out where they came from, where the perspectives are coming from. They're usually from whether it's childhood or the way their parents taught them. Oftentimes it's generational, and breaking those ways of thinking down and rebuilding the perspectives and the mentality to be healthier and stronger and adaptable to the specific relationship that they're in completely changes how people operate within the setting of their marriage. And I always tell couples you would have to adapt differently if you were with a different person, but the person that you chose is the person you need to adapt to. And once people figure that out, it's that just becomes their launching point for the future, and everything just they keep getting stronger and closer and more connected.
Sounds pretty good. And how do you teach couples to communicate effectively without those negative patterns?
It starts with, like you stated, it starts with kindness. It starts with a lot of understanding. It starts with being patient with each other. And the biggest, most important thing is caring and having value for the marriage itself, because it's just like a job. If you don't communicate effectively, it's just like your colleagues, it's like friends. If you start to let things slide, if you start to let things become um loose, or you become difficult to deal with, other people aren't going to want to deal with you, right? And that goes for your spouse. So making sure that you're working on yourself, you're being the best version of yourself, is an absolute must.
Absolute must. You stress the importance of approaching conflicts as a team rather than as adversaries. Are there specific conflict management skills that you help couples learn?
Yeah, the basic part of that is, if you don't let the conflict get really bad and you can understand each other to the point that you're the person who's doing the best that you can, and you're the person who's being calm and patient and listening to the other person's frustrations, that's where you find that juxtaposition of, I'm calm, we're both coming into this calm, we care about each other, we value each other. It's important for us to create a happy, healthy.
We, I can't hear. I'm
I'm
sorry,
sorry, I
I
can't.
can't hear. Michelle,
Michelle,
I
I
can't hear.
can't hear.
Can't
Can't.
hear you.
Hold on, is that better?
Now I can hear you.
Yeah. Yeah, it's when people start going way deep back into their uh primal ways of operating because they've lost control over how their mind operates. That's when a lot of people will start to become overly conflictual and out of control. And when they become completely out of control, that's when people start to say things they don't necessarily mean and are not applicable to the situation that is at hand. So keeping the calm and keeping the peace before expressing frustrations is very important.
Very important. So that you started out by saying to remember that the quality of the relationship is primary, and and because of that, maintaining self-control so that you can approach a conflict as team members rather than fighters. You
Right.
you listed 5 concepts that help build a successful marriage. One of them was to keep dysfunctional people out of your life. Can you give us an example of that?
Okay. Nancy, can you give me 1 second? Sorry, it's a very busy day. Sorry, 1 second, Nancy.
Okay.
Okay, sorry, Nancy. Can you give me the question once more?
You mentioned the importance of keeping dysfunctional people out of your life. Can you give us an example of that?
Oh, yes, a lot of times what people run into is like whether it's in-laws, whether it's people within the work setting, most of the time it's extended friends and family. There are people that will create a system in your life that loop you into their negativity, that loop you into the ways that they need you to be so that they can feel comfortable. And that's oftentimes by putting you down, by making you feel bad, by making you feel like you're doing something wrong constantly. And usually who gets picked out for that is really nice people. And most people in the world are generally very nice. Most people are there to be kind, be good. When you can spot somebody that, like, you're okay, everything is fine, your life is fine, you feel good, and then all of a sudden you don't feel good, you feel bad, you feel down, your self-confidence is cracking. It's so important to not be afraid to let those people go and to have such strong boundaries that you can have more control over that relationship and over how they're making you feel, because you then take that into your marriage, you take that into your parenting. The stress levels that get higher, they affect people's physical health immensely also. I've never seen somebody have very strong boundaries up against difficult people like that and regret it later. I've never seen that happen, because that's usually the only way that very difficult people will learn that it's important for them to change. And if that change requires you being the strong one and telling them, look, like, I can't see you anymore, or just ignoring their calls and texts, that's okay. Just to know that that's okay is a very good starting point for many people. It's okay to be strong. It's okay to preserve the bounds of your healthy, happy, loving family system.
I found with many of my clients that their extended family gets involved in the marriage and it never works well.
No. Sometimes, I mean, there's situations if you have really good people around you and you're in a dysfunctional relationship. Yeah, I ask people sometimes, especially young people, they're just starting out. I say, what do your parents think of this? Oh, we're fighting every day. We hate each other. Our families hate each other. Oh, it's terrible. Everything's terrible. And I'm like, what are your parents? Your parents good, nice people? And I said, what do your parents think about it? And they'll say, oh, my parents don't know. Or my parents do know, and they keep telling me, or their kids, adults, in their 50s, 60s, they're on their second marriage, dysfunctional. What do your kids think? You have good kids? Oh, my kids say this is a terrible relationship. They see it firsthand. Sometimes, and that's why it's important to cling to good people and to be able to pick that out. Because when you cling to good people will guide you in a positive, healthy direction, even when you don't know what to do.
Okay. You stress your personal commitment to lifelong learning. You poured a lot of what you've learned into your book. The title is Win at Love, Win at Life. You suggested a movement implementing basic relationship education at the high school level. I
Yep.
wholeheartedly agree. I wish we could start teaching good communication and relationship skills at a much younger age.
Yeah, it's so important because and then once you learn it, you just keep building upon that.
So, our viewers of this video, you can find Michelle Sabazian's interview on Authority magazine titled Five Keys to a Happy Lasting Marriage. And you can purchase her book, Win at Love, Win at Life, on Amazon.com. Michelle, thank you. I know you're having a very busy morning, but thank you for
Yeah,
spending.
busy morning, and I'm a little sick today. So all the viewers, thank you for your patience. My voice is a little crackly today, but I'm so happy to chat with you, Nancy. I hope we get to do it again soon.
Thank you very much, and wishing you the very best in your work.
I appreciate it. Thank you.